Welcome to my channel and spoilers ahead. The movie begins with Chris Vaughn, a Special Forces Army veteran, returns to his native Kitsap County in Washington at the start of the film. As he travels, he observes an abandoned mill that used to employ the bulk of the town's residents. As he reads the mill's closing notice, the town's sheriff, Stan Watkins, approaches him. He is recognized by the sheriff as a member of the Special Forces, and he offers to drive him home. Chris first declines the ride, but when Watkins pushes, he is forced to board. After arriving home and being greeted by his sister Michelle, Chris's father and mother soon follow suit. His family hasn't seen him in years and his nephew Pete has grown significantly. The next morning Chris can be seen repairing the wooden staircase present at the house's entrance. At the same time his high school buddy Ray arrives there and greets him. When Chris offers him beer, the latter reveals that he stopped consuming drugs and alcohol and has been clean for the last 14 months. Later he invites Chris to a football game with some of their high school classmates, to which Chris agrees. In the next scene Chris and Ray arrive at the ground and unite with their old friends. Their game is against the team of Jay Hamilton, who is also Chris's old friend and belongs to one of the richest families in Kitsap County. At present Hamilton is the owner of the biggest casino of the town. Soon Hamilton's other teammates also arrive there, including the bouncers of his casino. With this the game begins and Hamilton's team can be seen playing roughly by attacking the other players. During the game Chris observes his nephew Pete hanging out with a group of boys who are using marijuana. The game is going well until Hamilton's main man Booth intentionally attacks Chris and damages his knee. However, Chris lets it slide and the game ends. Before leaving, Hamilton invites Chris and his teammates to his casino. Later Chris calls Pete and advises him to stay away from his drug addict friends, but the little kid dismisses him and drives away in his small motorbike. At night Chris, Ray and some of his friends arrive at the casino as planned. They enter the place and are surprised to see the environment there, with hot ladies walking around and entertaining the customers. Soon Chris meets up with Hamilton, who urges his men to provide Chris with VIP treatment. Wasting no time, Chris is taken away to one of the exclusive dancing booths of the casino. Here he's left alone to enjoy watching a stripper perform for him. After a few minutes he discovers that the lady is none other than his high school love Denny. When Denny recognizes Chris, she stops her performance and closes the shutter. Chris is also disappointed to see her work as a stripper. Following this he returns to the casino floor and finds Ray playing a random game. He then approaches his older friend Smitty, who's gambling at a dice table. Chris notices that the dealer conducting the game is cheating by using loaded dice. When Chris tries to confront the dealer for his cheating, the latter calls security and there ensues a fight between the bouncers and Chris. Though at first Chris manages to beat them, he's soon overpowered by 3 bouncers who tase him and bring him to the basement. There the head of the casino security booth snatches Chris's Special Forces locket and uses a sharp blade to make cuts around his body. After torturing Chris they leave him on the side of the road thinking that he's dead. However, Chris wakes up and somehow manages to stop a moving truck for help. In the following scene Chris can be seen at the hospital badly injured. Fortunately the doctors are able to save him and inform Chris's family that he will recover soon. After that Chris is brought back to the house where he rests and enjoys his time with Ray and Pete. Pete helps Chris to do his exercise and also prepares food for him. Slowly Chris starts to recover and gets back into his daily routine. One day, while Chris is repairing the old staircase, Hamilton arrives at his house and apologizes for whatever his men did to him. He then offers to make Chris the head of security of his casino, but Chris kindly refuses his offer. Hearing this, Hamilton asks Chris to give it a second thought, but Chris replies that it's his final decision. After that, Hamilton provides Chris with some money as compensation for the incident, but Chris refuses to accept it and informs him that he will soon file a report against his casino. In the following scene Chris brings his case to the local sheriff Watkins, but to his surprise Watkins mentions that the case has already been examined and that there's insufficient evidence to punish Hamilton's security guards or to close the casino. Instead of writing the report, Watkins informs Chris that after the mill was closed the casino became the main source of revenue for the town, hence it's impossible to close the casino or punish the owner. Frustrated, Chris leaves the station, but not before informing the sheriff that he's going to expose the illicit activities of the casino. The next day when Chris returns home after a short meeting with Denny, he's shocked to find out that his nephew has suffered from a drug overdose. Turns out that Pete consumed crystal meth, a rare and expensive drug. When Chris confronts Pete's buddies and inquires about the source of the drug, they inform him that the casino security guards privately supplied them and are selling it to the whole town. Enraged, Chris returns to his house and takes out his old shotgun. Despite his father trying to stop him, he drives towards the casino. In the next scene, Chris arrives at the casino but somewhat controls his anger. He ditches the shotgun and instead carries a wooden log inside. He then starts smashing the gambling machines in the interior of the casino. In no time, Hamilton's guards arrive there and attack, and Chris fights them with the help of the wooden log, breaking their hands and legs. He also beats up Booth and takes his locket back from him. Before leaving, he launches his wooden log at a mirrored window and notices Hamilton looking at all the chaos. Unfortunately, he is quickly surrounded by the police. As he tries to drive away, he is then arrested by Watkins for assaulting the security guards and destroying the casino. In the next scene, Chris can be seen at the police station conversing with a lawyer and requesting him to take his case. At the court's hearing, Hamilton presents several witnesses from his casino and all of them testify against Chris. They mention that he is a trained Army officer and was out of control that day. Despite the accusations, Chris' lawyer is surprisingly silent, and this convinces Chris that he's also working for Hamilton. Hence, Chris dismisses him and requests the judge to let him handle his case independently. After getting the approval from the judge, he addresses the jury and the courtroom audience about Hamilton's casino that dispenses drugs and cheats its customers. He also declares his intention to apply as a candidate for sheriff, promising to clean up the town and the corruption. He then shows the jury his body wounds that were inflicted by Booth. Hearing all this, the jury comes to a conclusion in the favor of Chris and releases him from custody. The scene then fast forwards to the time when Chris has already won the election and is the new sheriff of the town. On his first day as sheriff, Watkins approaches him and suggests he keep all his deputies as they are trustworthy. However, Chris, who knows that all of them are corrupt, fires them on the spot and enters the station alone. Later, Chris confronts Hamilton while he's riding in his Porsche with his girlfriend. He stops the car and asks Hamilton to show his license and registration papers. Hamilton mocks Chris's new position and attempts to bribe him. Enraged, Chris leaves, but not before destroying the car's taillight and warning him to fix it soon. Following this, Chris visits Ray and asks him to join the police department as a deputy officer. At first, Ray refuses to do so, stating his own history of addiction, but when Chris mentions that he needs his help to destroy Hamilton's drug empire, he agrees to join. Soon, Chris and Ray can be seen arresting numerous drug dealers and punishing them. Eventually, they arrest Booth and perform a full-body search with an aim to take revenge on him. The duo start wrecking Booth's customized pickup truck in search of drugs and at last put him behind bars at the station. Chris urges Ray to go to his home and keep an eye on his family, knowing that Hamilton will most certainly attack them. Chris then stays at the sheriff's office to look after Booth. At night, when Chris is having dinner, Denny pays him a visit. Turns out that she's resigned from her job as a casino dancer. After the revelation, Chris approaches Denny, kisses her, and the two make love in the station. The next morning, after not finding Booth around the casino, Hamilton orders his men to attack Chris's family and also the police station. Soon, Hamilton's henchmen arrive in front of the police station and blow up Chris's truck. After that, they continue firing at the station with their machine guns. Surprisingly, the ones firing at the station are none other than Watkins and his ex-deputy officers. At first, Booth becomes happy to see Watkins, but after realizing his vulnerable condition, he begs Chris to allow him out of the prison. Chris exploits his situation and pressures him to reveal about Hamilton's drug factory. Left with no choice, Booth discloses that the old mill is where the drugs are being manufactured, but sadly, before Chris can let him out of prison, he is struck by several bullets and killed. With Denny's assistance, Chris succeeds in eliminating all of the attackers, including Watkins. He then takes Denny and heads towards his home, where Ray and Chris's father are able to eliminate the henchmen who attacked them. After ensuring the safety of his family, Chris proceeds to the timber mill and uncovers a meth lab as well as Hamilton, who is patiently waiting for him. Hamilton uses mill machinery to lower Chris down a trapdoor in an attempt to kill him. However, Chris pulls Hamilton down with him, and the two fall into a slide. Chris then flees into the neighboring forest while Hamilton chases him with an axe. Chris manages to realign his broken leg bone and use a wood log to defend himself before Hamilton strikes him with the axe. Despite being hurt, Chris manages to outmuscle Hamilton and win the battle. Chris then takes Hamilton into custody and places him in jail. Chris shuts down the illegal casino and reopens the old timber mill, giving the locals jobs, as the film comes to a close. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.